Hey, traveler, welcome to Escaping the Disrespect Triangle. Because this ain't Bermuda. We're dysfunctional relationships patterns with narcissists that you can't unsee, but can break. Coming to you from Zebra's Underground. So, my name's Christy, and I recently went to see my parents who are retired in Florida. And keep in mind, I've been estranged from them for many years after they labeled me crazy when EDS POTS and CCI struck me down as my brain literally dropped down out of my skull from Chiari. Yep, I was quickly reminded there are two things you can count on anytime you go back home. Number one, someone will comment on your appearance like they're a TSA inspector scanning for flaws on your body. And number two, you will get emotionally pulled into a drama you thought you had outgrown. This, my friends, is how I found myself back in the disrespect triangle, aka the Cartman drama triangle, which is a toxic pattern of interaction that makes you question your sanity, your worth, and why you ever thought a weekend visit was a good idea in the first place. And here's what I need you to know. This triangle, it's not just a emotional Bermuda Triangle of torture. It's a blueprint for every dysfunctional dynamic you've been swimming in since you were old enough to say, "Oh, I'm fine," when you were absolutely not fine. But this time, I recognized it, and I broke the cycle. Let's talk about how. So what is the drama triangle? Well, it was developed by Dr. Stephen Cartman in 1968, and it's a psychological model that maps out three interconnected roles that people typically fall into during dysfunctional relationship dynamics, which are really common in narcissistic personality disorders and often played out in family dynamics. The three roles start with this. One, the persecutor or the bully. They blame, they criticize, they control. Typically driven by anger or resentment, and they think they're always right and make other people feel small. Number two is the victim, who's helpless, feeling powerless, oppressed, or stuck, avoiding responsibility and decision-making, and looking for someone to save them, and then resents them for it. And the third role is the rescuer or the savior, who tries to fix everything and everyone and is overgiving at the cost of their own well-being and enables helplessness in others to help them feel needed. And the real kicker of these three roles is when you're stuck in this dynamic, you and the other people around you in your family rotate around through these various roles. In one moment, you're the victim. The next, you're rescuing, and by dinner, you're persecuting like a bully with passive-aggressive clinks of your fork. And you don't have to have narcissistic parents to experience this, but it helps you see the patterns. So when I went home, these family dynamics, added with chronic illness, equaled emotional earthquake. And here's how it went down. I showed up to my parents' house with that suitcase full of pain meds, compression gear, and a naive hope that this time might be different. My joints were flaring, my heart was dancing the cha-cha, and all I really wanted was a semi-peaceful visit with minimal invalidation. But it was too much to ask for some compassion? Yeah, it seems so. So dinner on night one, I mentioned I need to rest after eating. My dad says as he takes on the persecutor role, "You're always lying down. You never help out anymore." Mom slips into the victim. "Everything revolves around your needs now. We all have pain." And a sibling jumped in as the rescuer, desperately trying to play the referee. "Oh, let's not do this tonight. She just needs some rest, Mom. Let's clean up." But my body was in a flare, and my soul was now in free fall. And suddenly I became not an adult with a valid diagnosis, but that teenage little girl again, being told I was dramatic, difficult, and just too much. And every role on the drama triangle was lit up like a damn Christmas tree. These are the roles that you didn't choose, but you keep playing. I find myself sliding into that victim role, powerless, silenced, and super resentful all over again. I wanted to scream. Like, do you have any idea what it takes for me to even exist right now with these chronic illnesses, much less to have traveled to even be here? But instead, I took a breath and I remembered something. A visual I'd seen recently from a friend and therapy coach, Anita Lane, Core Breakthrough Coaching, that was adapted from Karpman's original work, The Triangle. It was my exit strategy. And that's when I stopped spinning. I stepped back. I saw the pattern. And this time I chose to break it. And yes, I'm literally patting myself on the back for the first time for taking this tactic. But you can do it too. And here's how you can go from drama to dignity. And flip the script on the respect triangle. Step 1 is to think about it as the winner's triangle from Choi in 1990. A.C. Choi's version of this respect side of the triangle teaches you how to reframe the roles, to go from victim to vulnerable, where you can feel your feelings without handing your power away, where you can ask for help with boundaries and avoid needing a rescue, and to problem solve without self-blame. So this time, instead of melting into the couch with silent tears, I took another breath and I said calmly, I'm in a lot of pain right now and I need to rest. I really want to be part of this evening, but I can't ignore my body. And in that one move, I went in a different role on the respect triangle. I flipped the script. Another way you can do that is to go from persecutor to assertive, where you state your needs with respect. You don't attack or accuse or over-explain. And you set these boundaries without playing a drama queen. So instead of telling Dad off, which I admit was pretty tempting, I responded, hey, I know my limits don't necessarily make sense to you, Dad, but I'm not going to explain them anymore. I'm going to take care of myself. Again, flipped the respect triangle. Or you could go from rescuer to caring, where you can be present without overfunctioning. Let others own their feelings, and don't fix what's not yours to fix. A personal hard one for me. So in that moment, I told my sibling, oh, I appreciate that you want to help, but you don't have to mediate. I got this. So it wasn't perfect. There were long silences and a bit of sulking and more than one awkward meal when I visited my parents. But I didn't abandon myself. And that's where the change started. This single example does not do any justice to the expansive power of the triangle. You can use it on the disrespect side, or you can flip it to the respect side. If you want to see these roles in more detail, check out the written post where there's pictures and images that detail these roles on both sides. Or you could learn how to bring in the power of TED, which stands for TED, the empowerment dynamic, where David Emerald expanded the respect triangle even further from victor to creator. where people focus on outcomes and not obstacles. And they take small steps forward when all you might be able to do is lie down with a little dignity. And you'll realize you're not helpless. For me, I went to Florida. I chose to visit. I chose to set limits. I choose how I respond, even when my family might never change, which they likely won't, and that's okay. It's okay for them, but not for me. So learn a little bit more how to go from persecutor to challenger, or from rescuer to coach, because where you want to spend time is not this Bermuda Triangle of torture, but the respect triangle, where you can have a healthy side of relational dynamics. If you need a little bit more information about this, you can check out Anita Lane's Core Breakthrough Coaching, where she's on Substack as the Shit Shifter, where she shares a lot of great insights on emotional resetting. Or you could follow Sharon Martin, a psychotherapist and author who talks deep about these kind of childhood wounds. But remember, this ain't the Bermuda Triangle where you disappear. It's your exit plan, and you don't have to lose yourself. Now, this disrespect will not dissolve overnight like quicksand under your feet on a remote island, especially when you grew up in it, or when chronic illness turns your life into a daily negotiation to get by, or when your very existence in the way that you are now challenges the comfort of those who'd rather pretend you're still who you used to be. But you can exit the cycle. You can stop rescuing, stop shrinking, stop silencing yourself to keep the peace. Because hear me now, that peace that costs your dignity isn't peace, it's performance. And here's what I know better now, and hopefully you can take away. You are not that role. You are not the problem just because you have needs. And you do not need anyone's permission to choose respect over dysfunction. The drama triangle is not your destiny. Think of it like a map, one that you can just simply reroute yourself. And now that you've seen this pattern, and maybe you recognize it in your relationship dynamics, you won't be able to unsee it. Because you don't have to stay lost in it. Just imagine it's your one-way ticket to an episode on Love Island, where you're the one who finds love within yourself for a change, without all the drama that feeds that hungry Instagram follower audience. Just learn to watch the dysfunction like you're watching a bad reality TV show, and you laugh at how screwed up it is from afar and change the channel when it gets to be too much. If you want more content like this, where we're chronically trying to create and do some uncensored survival skills and self-advocacy, join me on Zebras Underground on Substack, where therapy comes with sarcasm and wit, and sometimes some wisdom, where we learn about hard-earned exits from emotional chaos, and where we're done playing roles we never asked for, because we're learning to manage our bodies and our mindset differently, better.